What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to a brand new video. In this video we're going to be checking out David Tennant's top 10 Doctor moments. This is a video from Watch Mojo UK, so let's check it out. Let's see what they think is the top 10 Doctor moments from David Tennant, and let's see if we agree. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
I'm a Time Lord.
Oh, definitely one of the best scenes.
I'm 903 years old, and I'm the man who's going to save your lives and all 6 billion people on the planet below.
Ooh,
damn.
That's good.
Oof, I agree.
That's really good. Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 greatest moments from David Tennant's reign as the Doctor.
Oof.
Before we begin, if you
There's a
enjoyed
lot.
this video, please subscribe for more great content. For this list, we've scaled time and space for the best bits from David Tennant's Time Lord tenure on Doctor Who, from impossible planets to iconic speeches.
I'm from the planet Gallifrey and the constellation of Cerberus. I am the oncoming storm, the bringer of darkness, and you are basically just a rabbit, aren't you?
Number 10, The Long Goodbye.
I love
The
that.
End of Time Part 2.
Oh.
We'll start near the end, as Tennant realises that regeneration looms, but makes one final trip before the inevitable happens.
Where are you going?
He stops in on all his closest friends and
Oh, one of the
companions in
best
one way or
scenes in
another,
Doctor Who
but
ever.
His final farewells are mostly steeped in sadness.
Oof.
And his last port of call is probably the most emotional of all, as
Rose
he crosses
Tyler.
paths with Rose mere weeks before she meets the 9th Doctor and her adventure begins.
2005.
It's going to be hell of a year.
Tell you what, I bet you're gonna have a really
It's going to be a hell of a year.
If this doesn't break your heart, then nothing will.
Oh.
Number 9, Saving River Song.
Oh, yes.
Forest of the Dead.
Hello, sweetie.
Get out.
10 meets River only once during his time in the TARDIS for a 2-part story set in the library.
One of
He
the
eventually
best
works
set as
out
well.
How important she is. The fight against the Vashta Narada comes at the end of River's timeline, even though it's the first time that the Doctor has ever set eyes on her. And when she seems to have sacrificed
Oof.
herself, the Doctor connects the dots to preserve at least part of her existence.
I'm very good.
That you are. One of the best Doctors ever.
Saved her.
With Tennant racing to the rescue, it's even more intense if you watch it after River's time with 11
Yeah,
and 12.
100%.
Not every day.
Going back and watching this after Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi.
Number 8, I Believe in Her,
Wow.
The Satan Pit. The relationship between Ten and Rose was a driving force throughout Series 2, and by the time they reached the impossible planet, their loyalty could well be turning into love.
Everyone leaves home in the end.
Not to end up stuck here.
But first, Billy Piper's character provides the inspiration for one of Tennant's finest ever speeches as he faces the Beast and near certain death.
Oh, no. Yes! No.
Smashing the vases seems precisely the wrong thing to do, but these two are a team, and even when the chances of survival seem like they couldn't be any lower, Tennant's Doctor can muster exactly the right words.
If I believe in one thing, just one thing, I believe in her.
Number 7, Wiping Donna's Memory, Journey's
Oh,
End. Journey's
one
End
of the
brings
saddest
another
as
pivotal
well.
Episode for 10, and in amongst the Dalek devastation, we find definite highlights for Tennant's character, especially when all of
David
his
Tennant's
allies met
character
the
lost
TARDIS
so
together.
much.
We're gonna fly planet Earth.
He lost Rose.
But the most
Lost
memorable
Donna.
moment comes at the story's close, when the Doctor saves Donna by erasing her memories of him.
No, please, please.
A heartbreaking conclusion for a fan-favourite character.
Even makes me want to tear up now.
Worse when a rain-soaked Tennant says goodbye to Wilfred. Few Who scenes more effectively
I
show
love
the
Donna's
Time
granddad
Lord's
so
loneliness.
much. He was such
I'll never be home.
such a good character.
I'll look up at the sky.
Number
so
6,
glad he
Time
came
Lord
back.
Victorious. The
Came back
waters
for the
of
end of
Mars.
time. Everyone came back for him.
Are a complicated matter, and only the Doctor seems to understand them most of the time, but even he can go wrong every now and then.
The whole of history could change. The future of the human race. No one should have that much power.
In the 2009 special, The Waters of Mars, Ten takes matters of life and death into his own hands, knowingly rewriting history by saving some of the crew from a doomed Martian base.
I'm the winner. That's who I am.
And while the battle against the Flood is exhilarating enough, there's a dark twist at this story's end, prompting the Doctor to reevaluate his power.
I don't care who you are. The Time Lord Victorious is wrong.
Number 5, Bad Wolf Bay, Doomsday.
The day we
With
lost
Dalek
Rose.
Cybermen and an existence-destroying void to contend with, Doomsday pitches the Doctor and Rose into quite a tricky situation. But just when the pair of
Battle of Canary Wharf.
they're plunged into parallel universes. In a desperate scene for Ten and his companion, he watches as she slips towards a lifetime away from him before burning up a sun to stage one last conversation.
I love you.
Quite right.
Bad Wolf Bay becomes a legendary location after this, as a site where things went painfully unsaid.
Rose Tyler.
It was the worst moment
Number
ever.
4, The Fury of the Time Lord, the Family of Blood. As we've already
I still don't
seen,
think to this
Tennant's
day we know what he
wasn't
said.
all sunshine and roses, and his eternal punishments for the Family of Blood were especially ruthless.
But, in fairness, I will give you one word of advice. Run.
Having tricked his way onto the family ship to destroy it from the inside, the Doctor forgoes a human life as John Smith to finally capture the enemy aliens, and he looks pretty angry about it.
He never raised his voice. That was the worst thing. The fury of the Time Lord.
As the brother narrates
Fury of
the
the Time
family's
Lord.
fate to one of the show's more ominous endings, Ten suddenly seems a seriously scary chap.
We wanted to live forever. So the Doctor made sure that we did.
Oof.
Number 3, Regeneration Fears. The End of Time Part 1. We've already
The End of
witnessed
Time
some
were
of
literally
Ten's run
the
up to
best Doctor
regeneration,
Who's.
but this scene gives even greater context to David Tennant's closing moments. Coming in the first part of his End of Time finale, it sees the Doctor and Wilf stage a teary heart-to-heart, trading thoughts on fear and death.
I'm going to die.
Well, so am I one day.
Don't you dare.
All right, I'll try not to.
The 10th Doctor was better
We
at
don't
carrying
want that
his
to ever
emotions
happen.
than most incarnations, but here we see his heartbreaking struggle to keep it together.
Even if I change, it feels like dying. Everything I am dies. Some new man goes sauntering away.
Of course, these feelings eventually fuel one of the most memorable regeneration scenes
Yep.
in Who history.
I don't want to go. Yep. Bruh.
The 2, Don't Blink.
Breaking my damn heart.
It's arguably the most famous scene from the 10th Doctor's run.
This, when I was a kid,
Episode when the Doctor
scared
and
me to
Martha are
death.
Merely supporting characters.
I'm a time traveller. Or I was.
Honestly, this as a kid,
Carrie Mulligan's Sally Sparrow takes center
this was
stage
the
for Blink,
Weeping
but
Angels
she's
was
acting on
so
the advice
bad.
given to her by Ten's message from the past. The Don't Blink speech is one of the most quoted moments since the series revival, with Tennant's delivery blending timey-wimey weirdness with genuine concern.
People assume that time is a strict progression of cause to effect, but actually, from a non-linear, non-subjective viewpoint, it's more like a big ball of wibbly-wobbly.
Makes me want to just watch them all again.
timey-wimey stuff.
And there is reason to be
I could
worried.
watch all of
The
them.
Angels are easily one of New Who's scariest monsters.
Don't turn your back, don't look away, and don't blink. Good luck.
Before we reveal
True.
our number 1 pick, here's some honourable mentions.
Sarah Jane.
Hello, Sarah Jane.
We're the only two left.
Oh man, the Master as well.
There's no one else. Don't
Oh,
go.
the face of Bo's final secret.
Know this, Time Lord. You are not alone.
Number 1, the Midnight Entity takes over.
Oh.
Midnight. It's always unnerving whenever the Doctor loses control.
don't know about
of a
this one being the
situation,
best.
And this episode sees any semblance of authority stolen from him by an unseen, unknown, voice-lifting life form.
Guys, stop it. I said stop it. Just stop it.
And given that Ten's fate is in the hands of a few feuding tourists, his prospects don't look
Merlin.
great, and the tension's never been higher.
I think it's moved.
I think it's moved.
I think it's letting me go.
I think it's letting me go.
Acting opposite Leslie Sharp, who plays the possessed Sky Silverstream, Tennant tackles the unique concept with a frantic, desperate, and unforgettable.
To be fair, it
look in
was
his
a
eye.
really good episode.
It's clever, but seriously creepy.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. They've completely separated.
It's in him.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out
Maybe,
clips from
maybe,
Watch
you
Mojo
know.
UK and subscribe for more.
Ooh, if you want me to react to Matt Smith's top 10 moments, then make sure you leave a like on this video because that might be interesting. But I don't know, like the long goodbyes, that was one of the most heartbreaking scenes ever. If you go back if you go back to David Tennant and you've watched Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi, you watched the 11th and the 12th Doctor, this scene, like, it was kind of generally heartbreaking but confusing at the same time as they set up this story of River Song, and then you go back and watch it after watching Matt Smith for a lot of it, when you find out about like Amy and Rory, and then you go on to the stuff that she's done with the 12th Doctor as well. This is actually heartbreaking. Like, this scene is just absolutely heartbreaking, honestly. And then, the whole Rose and David Tennant, the whole Billy Piper and David Tennant was just, what a relationship, what chemistry, what acting between them both. It was phenomenal. The fact that they fetched her back as well in Donna's last episode, and Sarah Jane and everything in that episode, it was brilliant. But this scene between Donna and, you know, Catherine Tate and David Tennant, wow, like, perfectly acted, perfectly shot. It was amazing. I'd have put that a little higher, to be fair. I'd have put the family one, that would have been a lot lower in my opinion. Bad Wolf Bay would have been a lot higher as well. I think that were an absolute phenomenal episode, especially if you move on to Torchwood and the things that happened in Torchwood because of the Battle of Canary Wharf and the damage that it put on Jack as well, Captain Jack Harkness. Like, damn. The regeneration fears, I think this conversation of fears between Bernard Cribbins and David Tennant was just such a simple moment, but yet so perfect. I don't know about this one. It was a very good acted scene, but I wouldn't put it that high on my list. But I agree with the picks more or less. Let me know what you think down in the comments. But pretty much apart from that, I really agree. I think there's a lot of good moments in there, and I think it's really hard to pick David Tennant's top moments because he was such a good Doctor. That is going to do it for this one, though. If you have enjoyed it and you do want to see me react to the 11th Doctor's best moments, Matt Smith, then make sure you hit a like button. Make sure you hit the like button. God, if I can get my words out. If you hit that like button, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when the next one goes up. But apart from that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in another one. Peace!